Welcome back to another episode of Butler's Speed Shop, where we will continue working on my 1970-something, 72 Triumph GT6 with an MX-5 engine or Miata if you're over the pond. What have we done since the last update? Well, most of the tunnel is done. To be fair, it's sheet metal work, and I watch enough videos where people complain that no one watches sheet metal work, so I didn't bother recording it, even though we're going to be working on sheet metal today. But to catch you up on what's happened, as you can see, both end caps are done, footwell's done, this side of the footwell is also done. We've also completed the tunnel. It needs a few more welds where it mounts in. If anybody doesn't know these vehicles, the tunnel is actually removable on them as factory. So I wanted to keep that. Also, it makes things easier for bleeding clutches and stuff on this, because we can just take that out and put the pipe straight on instead of going underneath the car. So most of that's done. All those welds need sort of grinding back and fettling. There's a few little holes here and there that need sorting, but I will go round the whole tub prior to paint or anything like that and make sure everything's fine before we start prepping it for that sort of thing. Most of the metal will be stripped back anyway to get rid of all this old underseal that's on here. So today's job is going to be the rear quarter on the passenger side, which I will get the camera now and show you. So if we take a little walk around hither, I may have shown this prior on another video, but you can kind of see this panel is toast. It's completely dead. So what somebody's been starting to do is rebuild this area, which that shouldn't have a big hole. To be fair, they've done that side. Let me zoom in. It's not great. I'm going to have to address it, but you can see it. Yeah, it's not great. We'll have a look when we get over to that bit. But this side needs basically a piece going in, and this all needs building up. There's pretty much no inner wing. It's all just grotty and rotten. Now I have got this panel. Not all the way. It just goes from, I believe, this fold and somewhere around here. I'll tell you what, let's go get it. I just noticed definitely someone's been here before, because it should have that section. And oh no, they may not have done that. Might be factory. Anyway, that should go somewhere like that. So what we will do, we'll cut quite far below. We'll probably try and joggle this top so it fits underneath, but it gives me full access to that area, which is a bit crap. There's the tunnel, as you can see. So yeah, it needs a few of the welds grinding down, needs a bit of fettling here and there, but it certainly clears the gearbox and everything else. But that's obviously a job. And when I go back round, as I was saying before, and check all the welds and everything, make sure there's no holes in them, we'll go around and give it all a good fettle. So that is the job for this episode and probably today. There's plenty of other pieces to do where people have been here before and welded. You can see down there that needs sorting. There'll be a big update on the roof eventually when we get around to it. But we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. So, right, I need to lift this up. I need to lower it down to remove this leg a bit more inboard, lift it back up again. So I've just done a slight incision mark. Obviously not the full size of the panel. As I said before, I'm going to probably joggle it. I want to get in there so we can assess this back section. So we'll just get that bit cut out and see how bad it is behind there, eh? I mean, it's obviously had some welding up here, hence why it's got this hole, which I should be able to repair that. And then again, I think that's from a drill. Quite why it's drilled there, I have no idea. But let's get that little bit of panel cut off. Oh, I've got the bottom piece yet. Surprisingly solid. Must be welded something there. Nice. Lovely. Mm. Well, doing that should make it a little bit easier for me to repair it all. It's actually an inner sill at some point. I mean, it's not that bad. It's obviously had plates done. I'll show you. Yeah, she's obviously had it in a sill at some point. There's lazy me grinding back and just cleaning up a little bit, and probably just give it a few welds across there just to be on the safe side. And they've just hammered a hole open to get that wire in through. Find a GT6 that's not been welded. Clean all this back. That lip is pretty stout, so we can clean that and grind it thinner. So this all needs to come off, but my idea is to try and keep some of that. And again, it's going to come off. We'll decide as we go along. I mean, the thing is, it probably needs. We can, actual fact, we can make the template piece to go down. But we're going to have to tackle that bit first. So that's got to come all the way to it. I believe we will try and match the other side, even though the other side's rough. Let's start cleaning it up. Right, I'll bring you back in a bit. Yes, we obviously had to build that back section up, and then I've put this piece in ready for this panel so I can build up the rest of it. If it will focus. It's been joggled and everything. What we have found is this is all going to need cleaning up, and I'm probably going to cut it back and put a new piece in for then that section to weld onto. Yeah, it's not great, but that's original. And I mean, you can buy that panel, but if that's the only piece that's gone, then what is the point? Because everything else is okay. Yeah, I mean, not perfect, but certainly better than it was with nothing there. And obviously I've kept the contour line from that piece of box that was originally there, or piece of pressing was originally there. But we'll start cracking on with that piece, get it in once we've cleaned up all here. And fingers crossed that's part sorted. But with this on, I can continue building the bottom so it meets, unlike the other side where it's just been a load of bits have been slapped in. I mean, then again, that's two pieces, but it's supposed to be boxed on the inside just here, and then this is just your splash panel. Not perfect, but you're not going to see it because it's going to be around the wheel. As long as it doesn't let water in, it's all sealed and looks better than what it would do without. I'm not too fussed. So what we need to address, which the camera's now picking up, now in a better position, is this area. And what I'll do is I'll get the power file out, and we'll power file all this clean. I think we'll just have to put a little bit just into there and just clean up in this area as well. The panel has been joggled slightly, so it should. It's not a great panel, as we found out. We need some more adjustment, but it's been joggled slightly, so we can try and get it underneath, if you know what I mean, this panel underneath the other one. I mean, we are below, there's like a swage line where the camera takes it out, we can show it, sorry, the swage line. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll try and get that underneath there. Yeah, there we go. So I did have a go yesterday, a bit more taken out, I think, on the, yeah, there's something, yeah, there's a bit of weld there, so put underneath that and that should slide up. I mean, can't do that way obviously, unless we job with that so it went further back, but you're not going to get the tool all the way in, hence why I did this one, and I can just plug weld it, and it would need less filler then than doing it that way, and you got to build the filler up to it, and you're never going to get that line again, are you? Well, I won't, because I'm not good with filler. Right, let's get the power file, and I think what I'll do is I will time lapse all this until we get to the end result. So there we go. I mean, it's not stitched in obviously. I'm still going to put that little piece in there, but I mean, so let's just try and move the camera. I mean, it's a damn sight better than it was. Obviously it's going to need to be pinned back here, but that isn't distorting the panel too much. And this part will need, before as I stitch it, which to be honest, once there's a piece of metal behind it, it will be stitched to, that shouldn't stick out as much. You can see that. Yeah. Far better than a rotten panel, which had a massive hole. Then all we need is just to put the skirt piece in the back. Gravy. Right. So, I mean, the welds are going to need grinding down, obviously, but it's a damn sight better than it was. So, next job is going to be this. And how much we got? Oh, I'm dropping everything. This chassis really should have been taken out of the way, because if I'm honest, it's absolutely in my way every single time I try and do anything. Anyway. Right. So, as I was alluding to before, it's had a plate there, plate there, plate there, plate there, plate there. If I can do that in two pieces, because I don't think I've got a piece long enough, it will be far better. It has actually had a new rear valance. So what we'll do is this lip, obviously we will keep, but we will try and put some puddle welds in there to go to the panel at the back. But if I can chop like that, we've still got some good metal to connect to, apart from up there where it's pretty much gone. Yeah, I mean, I try not to do things in all multiple different pieces if I can, but I presume whoever had it before ran out of metal, or they were just moving along. So I think what we'll do is we'll start, we'll clean up where it's been welded, and then like I say, we'll probably try and just go above the weld area and try and get it off. Yes. So then guys, the camera's picking that up. There we go. That rear panel, we did it in one complete piece, thankfully. Obviously, that last bit of footage I did show you, because obviously I'm grinding it down. I have also started cleaning the bottom of the vehicle up. Someone's put some red oxide primer, and it was about had it really, to be honest. Also noticed that it's had some sealant here and there's rust underneath, so that's all got to come off. Also, we did a bit of puddle welding on the back, and also I've put in that panel as well, so we know that's pot sorted. So pretty much all the welding itself is done. Both sides have been rebuilt. End caps, which I mentioned previously. So there is areas that the previous owner, where they welded, I need to clean up. So the other big change is there is no hole in the roof, as you can see. Over the Christmas break, there was a part chopped GT6 come up on eBay, and the roof was, well, it's better than the roof that was on it. It's got a few issues. There's a few holes actually in it because it was actually from a car that had been sitting in a bramble bush for 20 years. Hence why there's all these marks. So I've got my work cut out for me, but we have fitted the roof. She's welded on. As you can see, it's all on. Obviously, it will need a skim. A little weld needs to be added in there, I've just noticed. Front's all done. Needs some repairs as well on the front lip, but it's stitched on, which that was going to be a massive headache. Now, I was going to record it as part of another video, but sheet metal work on YouTube doesn't really get the views, so I didn't really want to be just putting a video up there for the sake of it. This kind of really comes to the end of the sheet metal work, to be honest, because pretty much all of them have done. The small little welds here, the tunnel's been done. As alluded to before, the front section's all done as well. I think in the next video we'll probably get on to the engine, because we're going to be starting bodywork on this, and that's going to take a while. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, please hit that like, subscribe. Most of the people who watch these videos aren't actually subscribers, so hit that button down below. Obviously leave a comment on what you think of the car, and I shall see you in the next one.